Okay, hi there everybody. I think we are live. That looks really good. Let's see. I'm going to continue here with what I was doing on Sunday. It's this article about a week in the life of a London murder detective. So what you need to do, or you're going to need to do, is to choose the best word that fits the gap. So, for example, here, Mr. Couson was taken to hospitals with serious wounds, injuries, gouges, harm to his heart and other organs. And here, it was the answer was injuries. Good. So, good evening, Vishesh, because I guess you're in India. And I guess it's probably like Shalom, Renyard. Nice to see you. Yeah. Okay, so let me just check one tiny thing. Okay, that'll help me as well. Whoops. That was not meant to happen. Okay, and Count Beauty as well, and Sherwin. That's brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to continue, as I said, I'm going to continue with what I was doing on Sunday. Yeah, and you've just got to find the right answer to fit the gaps. So let me read. According to Detective Chief Inspector McHugh, Mr. Couson was entirely guiltless, blameless, unimpeachable, innocent victim of a dispute between organised criminal gangs from London and Birmingham, which he had nothing to do with. So I think he was probably an innocent bystander. Wow. So we've got another Bishesh as well. We got Sherwin, Count Beauty, and Abira as well. Hadja. What's the meaning of grace and disgrace? So grace is elegance, or if somebody's in grace, they are but they are popular, they are in fashion. And then disgrace is when something is terrible. You're in disgrace, you're in the doghouse. So let's see. Cheyenne's gone for innocent. Sherwin's gone for innocent. Count's gone for innocent as well. Okay, so I'm going to wait a minute or two more to see if we get some more answers, but this one looks pretty good. So he was the entirely innocent victim. I'm wondering about this. What other words might fit as well? Yeah, because I think this is one of these ones where various words would fit. Yeah. So Abira goes for guiltless. Huh. Okay, so let's see. I think unimpeachable is probably not a good word for this, because unimpeachable means he did absolutely nothing wrong. Everything he did was absolutely perfect. Cheyenne's now going for blameless. This is interesting. Okay, so let's see. Let's try it. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry. I'm just checking. I've got the right thing. Okay. In this case, the right word is innocent. He was the entirely innocent. However, these should be in capital letters. However, he was the blameless victim, fits quite nicely, and the entirely guiltless victim, probably, but innocent victim, it's a much better collocation. Okay, Mohammed, you need to choose the right word to fit in the gap. No, to avail means to use, Beatrice. Yeah? Separately doesn't mean many times. It means one after another. Okay, so innocent. Good evening, Never as well. Yeah, he was the innocent victim. Uriah Heep. Wow, I like Uriah Heep as well. Okay, so an innocent victim is a good collocation. Okay, it's a pleasure to enrich your vocabularies. So let's continue. There have been several developments in the inquiry over the years, most recently in September 2017, when detectives questioned a prisoner about the murder. Today, Detective Chief Inspector McHugh is considering what further action may be needed, but remains cagey, wary, reticent, guarded about what it might be. Okay, so let's see. Count goes for reticent. Cagey could be. I think cagey's probably a little bit informal here. I think cagey would fit, but I think it's too informal for this article. So what's everybody going to choose then? It's interesting. Good evening, Manji. Great to see you. Okay, so count goes for reticent, and Renyard goes for reticent. Okay, reticent means he doesn't really want to speak. I think maybe reticent is could fit as well. Manji goes for guarded, and Abira goes for reticent. So this is interesting. Sherwin goes for wary. He's wary about what it might be. He's reticent about what it might be. He's cagey about what it might be. He's guarded about what it might be. Okay, I'm going to let you out of your misery. In the original article, well done, Beatrice, they used guarded. However, I think cagey would fit, but it's a little bit informal, and reticent would fit. If you're reticent, you don't want to talk about something. If he's wary about what it might be, he's maybe it could be, but it means he's careful. He's he doesn't want to assume it's true, and I think here he's guarded. I think guarded and cagey are probably the best, but guarded is better. He's reticent. He doesn't want to talk about it. Wary. He's careful. Yes, Abira. He's cautious, careful. I think probably to some degree all of them fit, but in the original article, the answer is guarded. So let's continue. Yeah, this is a good one. You got it right. You were very good to start with on Sunday, Manji. Yeah, I was quite impressed. So let's continue. I was wrestling, scuffling, brawling, vying with a dilemma on a significant line of investigation, he says. So this is a nice short sentence, but there's some difficult words. Maybe you know wrestle. I don't know if you know scuffle. I don't know if you know brawl. And I don't know if you know the verb to vie. Yeah, interesting. So, Count goes for wrestling. Cheyenne goes for wrestling. Keep practicing Mandeng. Yeah? Keep just trying to use it. Keep trying to use it in situations. Okay, so wrestling, scuffling, brawling, vying. So what's this word to vie mean? To vie with. Okay, and Abira goes for wrestling. Yes, these are all great words as well. Okay, to vie with. let me write it here. To vie with somebody. Yeah. Okay, vie mean, okay, so Manji's gone for wrestling and Sherwin's gone for wrestling. To vie with means to compete. So during the Olympics, the competitors were vying for a medal. You vie with a competitor. So he wasn't competing with a dilemma. Okay, a brawl, to brawl is a big fight. Okay, Bisan goes for wrestling as well. Sherwin's gone for wrestling as well. Yeah, let's see. Wrestling is definitely the right answer. Yeah, to vie, to compete. To vie, to compete. So a brawl is a fight, a bar brawl. You watch a cowboy film and they have a fight in the bar. This is a brawl. And a scuffle is a small fight. Yeah. So there was a scuffle outside the pub. A brawl is a more serious fight. Normally, maybe a scuffle between 2 or 3 people. A skirmish is more normally military. Yeah. Is a small battle. You could use skirmish metaphorically, but it's most commonly used for military matters. So a scuffle, a small fight. Brawl, a big fight. I think a scuffle maybe 2 or 3 people, normally 2. A brawl maybe 10 or 15 people. Yeah. So a scuffle is a small fight. A brawl is a big fight. To vie with, to compete with, and then to wrestle with a dilemma. Yeah? Okay, so to wrestle with a dilemma, or maybe to struggle with a dilemma as well. So let's go on to the next. Later in the afternoon, he manages to make it to a physiotherapy, rendezvous, assignation, fixture, session, before doing more work from home. So, oh, great to see you, Tomek. Lovely. So Tomek goes session. Yeah, Cheyenne session, Renyard session, Count session. Okay, we seem to be pretty unanimous. Okay, so, and Manji goes for session, Beatrice goes for session. I think that's probably pretty good. Let's see, an assignation. An assignation is a secret meeting with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, particularly if you're married. So an assignation with your lover. Don't change your mind, Renyard. So an assignation. Yeah, you meet with your illicit girlfriend or boyfriend. A fixture is normally a match, a football match or a cricket match, a fixture. Okay, so you have the fixtures list for a team where it gives a list of all the matches that a team is going to play. Okay, a rendezvous to rendezvous means to meet somebody. Why don't we rendezvous on the corner by the post office? Yeah, a rendezvous to rendezvous, and they're not meeting. Yeah, it's a session of physiotherapy. Yeah, a period of time where he's working with the physiotherapist. You could have a session with the psychiatrist, or a session, well, a session playing poker, maybe even a drinking session. It's a period of time where you do something, normally quite regularly. Appointment would fit very nicely, Parker. So, hey, good to see you, and good to see you, Nevrike, as well. So, I think it's probably time to do the next one, yeah? And I think, well, let's see if the next one's more difficult. Okay, good evening, Singh. What's the best way to retain this intricate vocabulary? A music session. Thank you very much, Tomek. Just try using it, try incorporating it, and try not to use too much of it at a time. Yeah, or to learn too much of it at a time. Try making examples. So, yeah, a jam session, Tomek, definitely. One of the other unsolved cases from 2018 that Detective Chief Inspector McHugh is responsible for is Operation Planner, the murder of Bulent Kavala in Cockfosters, North London, in February. In a targeted strike, hit, blow, smash, the 41-year-old was shot in the head and chest as he got out of the silver Mercedes he was driving. The suspects were in a stolen blue van with Polish number plates. So here this word means assassination. Okay, so Beauty goes strike, Cheyenne goes hit, Tato goes for a hit, Tomek goes for a strike. Good evening, Vitali, great to see you. In a targeted strike, and Manji goes for a blow, Beatrice goes for a hit. So notice here, in a targeted assassination, Sherwin goes for hit, Tomek goes for hit, Renyard goes for strike. This is quite interesting. Okay, Mohammed goes for blow, Bisan goes for hit, Nevra goes for strike. So what do you call an assassin? A man. A what man? An assassin is a... What's the word that goes in the gap? I'm playing that game again, aren't I? And that's the same as the word here. Okay. So, Tomek says hitman, Renyard says hitman, Cheyenne says hitman. So, you've all just answered my question, haven't you? It's a hit. Yeah. Let's see. I think a strike is more like a military attack. Yeah, there was a strike against the airbase, for example. Yes, exactly, Abira, Manji, Beatrice, it's a hitman, you got it. Okay, and unfortunately, this looks like Hebrew, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, so, yeah, it's definitely not a blow, and it's definitely not a smash, it's a hit, a targeted hit. Yeah, I think a targeted strike would be an attack on a place. How many words do you need to reach proficiency? Probably, well, you probably need a vocabulary of maybe 12,000 words, something like that. But the more you can learn, the better. But not only do you need to learn them, note the inversion, but also you need to be able to use them grammatically correctly and in the right context, and that's not an easy thing. Detective Chief Inspector McHugh compiles a report for the Met's Director of Intelligence because he wants to offer an inducement, bounty, payment, reward for information that could help solve the case. The Director of Intelligence will decide whether to allow it. Good evening, Laksina. And now I got it right. Vitali goes reward. Beauty goes reward, Shine goes reward, and Tomek goes reward. You see, I remembered how to pronounce your name, Laksina, because I remember it, pronounce it like Laxman. Okay, so Laksina goes for reward, Sherwin goes for reward as well. Abira goes for reward. Yes, everybody's going for reward. Okay, so let's see, a bounty. This is the money that they pay for arresting a criminal. This is what you see in cowboy films. Wanted dead or alive. A bounty of $100. Yeah? And a bounty. This is money that they will give you if you arrest a certain criminal. Okay, an inducement, it would work, but it's too general, because here they're talking about money, they're talking about cash. So I think inducement would work. A payment would work as well, but the right word is reward. Yeah? Bounty hunters, exactly. Yeah, it's good to have you, Laxina. So I think just about everybody got that one. Yeah, a reward is something that you get, particularly money, for doing, carrying out something, a job, or doing something well. Absolutely, Manji. Great, 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 great. There's also another submission form to hand in, to complete. There's also another submission to hand in. To renew the crime reward, so here we've got reward again, in Operation Lessingham. The inquiry into the 2015 murder of Josh Hanson, who was knifed, skewered, bayoneted, stabbed in the neck at a bar at Eastcote, Northwest London. He was 21. So, good evening, arduous journey becoming Jane. Stabbed, you say. Beauty says stab, Tomic says stab, Cheyenne says stab, Vitali says stab, Tato says stab, Nevra, Bisan, everybody's Sturia. Good evening, Sturia. Okay, stabbed. Renyard says knifed. Renyard's gone for a different one. So I think we should probably look at the difference between knifed. So don't be so worried about it. I think he was knifed, but I wouldn't normally say in the neck. To knife someone, maybe you slash them, maybe you kill them. The right answer, yes, is stabbed. But I think he was knifed. If I used knife, I would probably take out in the neck. Yeah. Knifed, no. There was a knifing. So if somebody's knifed, it's more normal that you cut them as opposed to stab them. But he was knifed in the neck. Knife would work. Stabbed is the best one because it directly says it. Maybe he was knifed in the stomach would work. Okay, so a couple of questions. Skewered. What is a skewer? Okay, a skewer is a long, thin, sharp piece of metal that you put meat on to make a kebab. So, for example, a shish kebab is made on a skewer. A skewer is normally a metal, a long metal thing to put meat or vegetables on, to put on the barbecue. You could have a skewer made of wood as well. And bayoneted. A bayonet is the knife that goes on the front of a gun. A skewer, a spit, that's a really good word, Vitali, thank you. The bayonet is normally what a soldier has, and it's the knife that goes over the end of his rifle. Yeah? So, I think knifed is possible, but stabbed is much better. Yeah, knifed is more general. If you stab someone, that's one form of knifing them, but you could cut their neck or other things as well, and that's why stabbed. I think if he was knifed across the neck as well. Okay, so very, very good, all of you. I like Vitali's word, a skewer, a spit, the thing to roast something with. The prime suspect, Shane O'Brien, is still at wide, broad, freedom, large. Police believe he was flown out of the UK on a privately chartered plane after Mr. Hanson died, and is being helped by criminal associates who are providing him with money, false identities, and the means to move across borders. So, Shane O'Brien is still at, this means free. And Vitali goes large, Tomic goes large, Beauty goes freedom, Cheyenne for large, Tato for large. Yes, okay. Abira, becoming Jane, Sherwin, Manji, and Radha goes for freedom. Okay, so, broad. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see, there's only one possible answer for this. At large. If somebody is at large, they are free. The criminal is at large, he's free. There is a wild animal at large in the woods. Broad might work, but it's not the collocation. Yeah. There is a lion escaped from the zoo and is at large somewhere in this park. Okay, so at large means you're free. Yeah. You're not normally as well at large. It implies that people are trying to capture you. Yeah, but they still haven't captured you yet. On the loose, I like that, Tomek. Out loose, good. Yes, both of those work. Free, good. Tomek, Vitaly and Manji, I like those synonyms. So he escaped from prison and the prisoner is still at large. They are hunting him, but he's still at large. He's free. He hasn't been caught yet. I'm thinking, yeah, sometimes they say maybe a reporter at large, he's outside. You might use it metaphorically, but it normally means not yet captured. Okay, since the 30-year-old fled, flew, bolted, ran, he has had a large tattoo of an owl on his back to cover up a previous small design. Police in the Czech Republic managed to photograph it when he was arrested for criminal damage there in 2017. This was quite a big scandal at the time. He gave a false name and was released, with police only discovering his true identity later. He's now on Interpol's most wanted list. So everybody so Count Beauty says ran, and everybody else seems to be going for fled. I'll let a few more of you answer. It's quite, this one's I think this one's reasonably easy. Okay, so the right answer, the answer they used in the article, is fled. But notice, I think flew, bolted and ran also fit. Yeah, I think fled is the best answer. Thank you, Deepak. Fled is definitely the best answer, but flew, from to fly, he flew from the country. People are flying from Afghanistan at the moment. To bolt means to run away very fast. It also works. Ran, yeah, I guess he ran. Okay, a horse bolts, to shut the stable door after the horse has bolted. Fled, bolted, yeah, fled, bolted means to run away. Absolutely, to bolt, to run away. I think run is probably a little bit weak because the other words have got more meaning to them. I think flew as well. Yeah, the refugees flew the country. Okay, so fled. Okay, so notice flee, fled, fled. Yes, I think bolt's probably a bit too informal for this news article. Be careful, Sturla, that because sometimes these articles are fairly informal, but this one is definitely got medium formality, at least. So let's continue. Detective Chief Inspector McHugh, who's in charge of the inquiry into Mr. Hanson's murder, has said O'Brien has an air about him, a presence he will struggle to conceal, will have difficulty to conceal, even though he uses aliases, pseudonyms, nicknames, nom de plumes. He may try to disguise his appearance. So this is interesting. Vitaly goes for aliases. Tomek goes for aliases. Arduous Jane goes for pseudonyms. Yeah, that's true, Sherwin, and you are already so generous. You're so generous to me in your donations, in Patreon, in all of these things. Okay, all work. except nickname in view of formality. I would say one of them definitely doesn't work. Yeah. Count Beauty goes for aliases, Renyard goes for nicknames, Abira goes for nicknames, Vishesh, it's only 10 p.m, that's why I'm doing it earlier. Manji goes for aliases, Mahmood goes for aliases. Okay, so let me help you. Firstly, disguise, so pseudonyms. Okay, firstly, a nom de plume, this one at the end. This is a pen name. Sherwin says aliases. Yes, nom de plume is used to talk about writers. So a writer has a nom de plume. This is French, nom, name, de plume, of the pen. Okay, so a writer has a nom de plume. They don't use their real name when they write a book. They use a nom de plume. I think a nickname, this is what people call you. Nom de guerre is for military. That's very good. Okay, I think nicknames, I don't think nicknames is very good, because let's see, a nickname is a name that people call you for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, I've had various nicknames over the years. Yeah. And if you use a nickname, well, he might have nicknames, but a nickname is different from a pseudonym or an alias. I think the two that do fit are pseudonyms and aliases. I think an alias particularly is used to hide your name. A pseudonym is another name. Nom de plume, a pen name. Oh, that's very good, Manji. Nickname a sobriquet. So I think he uses pseudonyms or aliases, but here the right answer is aliases. Yeah, he uses aliases. You could say pseudonyms as well. Yeah, because this is another name for a person or something else they call themselves. Effectively, an alias is a pseudonym. But I think maybe you could use a pseudonym for other things. For example, a nom de plume is a pseudonym as well. But alias, normally you use an alias when you're trying to hide your identity. Yeah? A moniker, that's a nickname, that's a good word. Yeah, nickname moniker, that's very American as well. Epithet. Normally an epithet is short. Let's see, an epithet describes the person, Laxina. So, the fat man, he's fat, and that describes him. But if we called him number 8, that's not an epithet. So the epithet needs to be descriptive. Okay, police have petitioned, appealed, implored, begged, invited previously for information from aeroplane and helicopter pilots, boat owners, and those working in ports. As it's thought, I think at the end of that, that's because this bit is missing. As it's thought, O'Brien will be travelling around. Okay, so police have petitioned, appealed, implored, begged, invited, pleaded. And let's see. Vitali goes for appealed. Count goes for implored. Mahmoud goes for begged. Tomek goes for petitioned. A nickname's just a friendly, popular name that people call you. It may or may not be an epithet. Cheyenne goes for plead. Sujit goes for appeal. And Kai Camming. And Renyard goes for appealed. Otherwise, at another time. That's good. Thank you, Vitaly. Bisan goes for pleaded. Abira goes for Yeah, the thought police, I quite like it. As it's thought O'Brien will have been travelling around. So, appealed, says Tato. Beatrice goes implored. Mangira goes for petitioned. Okay, so the clue here is for information, and only one of these really fits. Appealed. To appeal for information, to spread information, to spread the word, particularly on television, radio, to asking for information, to appeal for information is to ask for, but to ask publicly, yeah, to advertise the fact that you want information. Okay, good evening, David. They're under your own pseudonym. Okay, that's good. To petition, a petition is normally a piece of paper which has something on and people sign it. So there was a petition to stop the council building a block of flats on the park, and that's normally a petition. Police don't petition. What's it? There's a website that does petitions. I can't remember its name now. An apple orchard is a place where you grow trees. I've got an apple orchard in my garden. There are about 10 trees up there, 12 trees. Okay, so to petition. You blew it as well. Petition is not right. A petition is where you get lots of people to sign a request for something, and then you give it to the authorities. To implore, please, 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 please. To beg, please, please. So let's see. To beg, to plead, and to implore. These are always very strong. Okay, so yeah, to implore. I think to beg, most normally asking for money. To plead with somebody when you're absolutely desperate. To implore them. I implore you not to do this. Okay, so no, the implored, begged, and invited. This is where you get on your knees and say, please do it for me. And invited, this is just clearly no good. Well, firstly, Suja, I've got a really nice video about beg the question. To beg the question means if I say something, it stimulates you to ask a specific question. Okay, so appealed, yeah, to appeal for information. Excoriated. It doesn't only have to be for political work, but to excoriate, to criticize really, really harshly. To implore, to beg earnestly, persistently, to plead. You plead your innocence in court. These are too strong. It's to appeal for information. Yeah, the police appealed for information. Okay, so the next one's easy. They're also looking for people in nightclubs and boxing gyms, as well as expats and any women he may have become involved with, to come out, in, to, through, forward. So beauty goes directly for forward. And let's see what other people... Tomek goes for forward. Let's see what else we get. So to come out, to come in, to come to come through, to come forward. Laxina goes forward. Vitalia goes forward. Sherwin goes forward. Beatrice goes forward. Abira goes forward. So it looks like a landslide for forward. Sturla goes forward. Good evening, Maria. Good to have you. So forward is the right answer. Whoops. Okay, so to come out. Well, things came out in the end. They worked out. They were successful. The news came out. It became public knowledge. Would you like to come out with me? Here, let's move forward. That's good. To come in. To enter. Knock, knock, come in. To come to, when somebody's unconscious and you put smelling salts under their nose, they come to. And to come through is to do what you promised to do. But to come forward is to identify yourself, that you know, and give the information. I want volunteers to come forward. It's a good phrasal verb there. Yeah? Anybody who wants to help, would anybody who wants to help me tomorrow come forward? So, the next one. Jessica, good evening. Negotiable. Yeah, something that you can change the conditions, to negotiate. So the price is £500, but the price is negotiable. So maybe I'll accept £450, or maybe you could offer me your car as well. Wow, thank you, David Lutz. Good grief. That's really, really generous of you. Okay, so at 23:30, Detective Chief Inspector McHugh gets a text that will end up shaping the work of his team for the next 7 days. It's about a burglary in Barnet. The old, antiquated, elderly, decrepit, venerable homeowner is critically ill in hospital. Thank you again, David. That's really, really kind of you. So, Vitalia goes for elderly, Abira goes for elderly, Laxina goes for elderly, Cheyenne says old, the old homeowner. Tomek says elderly, Count goes venerable, Sarah goes old. Yes, thank you, David, for such a deed. I quite agree with Laxina. Tato says elderly. Yeah. Okay, and Cheyenne, both work. Elderly is more polite. That's a very good answer. The old homeowner. Old is direct and not politically correct. Absolutely. Antiquated from Mading, and Sujit says elderly. Let's see, if somebody is old, you need to use the word elderly. If you call somebody old, then this is being rude. Yeah, he's an old man. No, he's an elderly gentleman. Yeah, if you want to be rude, use the word old. If something is antiquated, it's old-fashioned. So a fixed phone nowadays is antiquated. Yeah, if something's antiquated, it's very old-fashioned. Now let's look at this word decrepit, because nobody's gone for it. So maybe the homeowner could be decrepit. If something is decrepit, it's falling to pieces. Yeah, it's ill. Yeah, old is just too blunt and direct. Absolutely, Vitaly. So my old car is decrepit. It's falling to pieces. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. If somebody is old and ill and has lots of things wrong with them, they are decrepit. And then venerable means somebody who is venerated. People look up to them. So an important and respected member of society, normally who's quite old as well. Yeah, to venerate. One should venerate one's parents. Yeah, who nowadays is venerable? Boof, I can't think of any venerable politicians. They're all so dishonest. Venerable is respected. Decrepit's about to give up the ghost. Absolutely, it's about to drop dead. Well, the homeowner could be venerable. Yeah, but in this case, we don't know who the homeowner is. So it's going to be elderly. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody who I would call. The Venerable Mother Teresa of Calcutta, for example. Senior, absolutely, Lorenzo. That's a good, yeah. Senior. The British normally use elderly, but old is really rude. So decrepit, David, very, very fragile. Very fragile. Decrepit is more than fragile. Yeah. It's just it means it's about to die. Yes. Okay, if something is decrepit, it's disintegrating. Yeah, it's falling apart. Bits are falling off it. Yeah, and that's the idea of decrepit. So, antiquated for things, old-fashioned things. Old is far too rude. Elderly is the right answer. I like senior as a synonym for elderly. Decrepit, very fragile, falling apart, disintegrating. And venerable, deeply respected by people. The venerable Mahatma Gandhi. Elderly is polite. Yes, and okay, but notice, Madeng, an elder means a senior member of society. Yeah, and yeah, normally elders are elderly. Yeah, he's an elder of the group. Okay, good evening, Jerry. Well, I try and put them quite often. So, he makes some initial inquiries about the case and ensures the crime scene is being preserved before pulling, clutching, snatching, plucking, swiping, gripping a few hours sleep. Woof, this one's quite a hard one. So, good evening, left or right. Count Beauty goes for pulling, to set the cat among the pigeons. Okay, maybe you're true. Maybe she's not as venerable as they say, Vitaly. Maybe she's got a hidden agenda. So, pulling a few hours sleep. Tomek goes for pulling. Left or right said snatching. Vitaly is going for snatching. Monty's gone for pulling. And Sherwin's gone for clutching. Beatrice has gone for pulling. Abira's gone for pulling. Manji's gone for pulling. Rainyard's gone for gripping. Wow, we've got a real diversity of answers here. This is very funny. To me, there is only one good answer. To snatch. To snatch is to grab something very rapidly, and you snatch a few hours sleep. Okay, so to snatch, yeah, he snatched a few hours sleep. You can't pull a few hours sleep. To clutch is to hold on to. He clutched, the child clutched onto his mother's hand. He clutched his wallet to his chest. To pluck, you pluck a string, dong, you pluck a guitar string, or you pluck a chicken to pull out the feathers. To swipe, well, let's see, you swipe a credit card through the card reader. Yeah, or also to swipe, to steal. To grip, gripping means to hold on to. But here, to snatch a few hours sleep, it's the only one that can fit. So congratulations to Tomek and Leforite. Okay, so, and David, plucking for snatch. Snatch, to grab, yes. But here, actually grabbing a few hours sleep would work. Yep, snatch is the right answer, Maria. Is brain considered to be decrepit because it's fragile? Well, my brain is becoming more decrepit as the years go by. He snatched the television remote from his wife. Good. And our Israeli friend, I really wish I knew how to read your name, but snatching is right. So, let's see, Lek Axel. Tweedy. The scruffy hackers and the tweedy computer scientists. Tweedy is somebody who wears a tweed jacket. Yeah? Scottish tweed. Tweed is a type of material. Yeah? And so the hacker's going to have a beard and a t-shirt, and the computer scientist is going to have a tweed jacket, a shirt and a tie, and that's the difference. So he's calling them traditional, if you like. Okay, yeah. Forcefully, yes, that's the idea. Forcefully finding time to sleep. Yeah, he snatches a few hours sleep. Okay, I think that's probably then a good point for us to stop. Thank you again, David Lutz. That was incredibly generous of you. You've been a wonderful group as always. I will try and do more of these impromptu ones, and we will definitely have, or almost definitely, inshallah, a live stream on Sunday night. So thank you, David Lutz, again. Thank you all for coming. You've been great. Yeah, this channel is only run by me. Sometimes my daughter helps me make a video, and that's about the only thing. I do all of it, like Seema. Yeah, I'm a one-man band, as I was once called many. I wish, normally left right though, I normally decide 10 minutes before I do it. Ooh, I've got a free hour, let's do it. Yeah. So thank you very much indeed. Deo volente, inshallah, God willing. Yeah. You could say catching a few hours sleep. It will work very nicely here as well. Thanks. Thank you all for coming. You've been wonderful. A wonderful group. A one-man band. A one-man band, Tomek. Okay, so take care all of you. Stay safe. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll be back again soon. You're a wonderful lot. And one last thank you again to David Lutz.